Yeah.
Sometimes it's a bad internet connection. Sometimes, I can't explain them. Just,
Electricity, they lose electricity
yeah, in
that
the middle of a
usually kills off the
transaction,
software.
it's just
Yeah.
weird stuff. And uh, most commonly, it's just demons in the system. That's all it is.
Today we are here to talk about a couple reports, Earl. You ready to do that?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Why would people use closed accrual accounting as opposed to cash accounting or open accrual?
Well, generally speaking, closed accrual, of course, post income when a contract is closed, when everything's been returned, when the sale has been finished. It post income and you're responsible for the sales tax that have been posted with that transaction. In open accrual, the contract posts as soon as it's created. Boom. And if the contract changes before it's closed, each one of those changes will adjust the posting. Essentially, you're responsible for the sales tax as soon as the contract's opened, whether you've been paid or not. In the olden days in our little store, we were on cash accounting, but we didn't make enough money to be on closed accrual. It wasn't required. Cash accounting only posts income when the contract is paid in full. So we didn't pay sales tax until the contract is paid in full. But you can't do that at certain income levels. The state won't allow it. You got to pay sales tax as soon as they can get it. Usually closed accrual is acceptable. If you're several $1 million account, you may have to be on open accrual, but that's neither here nor there. Most people are on closed accrual accounting. Your AR in closed accrual accounting, your accounts receivable, consist of contracts that are closed and not paid, or not paid in full. You could run the AR report to include open contracts, but that's not what is posting to your general ledger. When you look at your general ledger, you have two entries. You have an entry called accounts receivable CP, which is the current period, how much AR was in the system as of close for the day in that batch. You also have accounts receivable previous period, which was the AR from the previous batch. And the difference between the two is the change in AR. And AR is calculated every night. When you do the end of day processing, it just adds up what money is owed to you, and that's the AR. And I believe it includes credits as well. So if you have credits on the account, that's part of AR. We have a report called the AR change report. And if you run it for a particular day, it will show what hit AR and what came out of AR. So contracts we closed with a balance and contracts we paid off, or contracts that paid and lowered the balance. And that should match the change in AR on your general ledger. Occasionally, it does not. And that usually indicates some kind of miscellaneous entry has occurred on the general ledger. Not always, but that's one of the things we look for to check if when we have miscellaneous entries, which should be, of course, very rare.
Glad you brought that up, Earl. So, like Earl said, when you're on closed accrual, what happens when you have contracts that have anything due on them is they go to the AR. You do see the difference in the AR. When you're looking at your GL entries, you see the difference between the current period and the previous period, and that's the change in your AR. However, like Earl said, there is a report called AR change, and I'm going to share my screen and we're going to show that report to you.
Anytime something is unaccounted for on the general ledger, it could be account payments, it could be income, it could be cost of goods sold entries, it could be just demons in the system. I am, they 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 should not happen. If you see a miscellaneous entry, that means something went wrong that day, in somewhere in the numbers. Sometimes they correct themselves automatically the next day. You never know quite why without working into it, and no one wants to look into it that hard. Uh,
So that's
but
when you call us.
miscellaneous entry, that's when you call us. We have kind of a routine we go through that helps us find miscellaneous entries.
We are now looking at Elite, and the way that we get to reports in Elite is we go right over here to this little grid that is our reports menu. I'm going to click on that, and we are going to search for the AR change right down here. And so just in case you didn't know, Earl, in here we can click this little star, and that report will now be in our favorites.
Yep.
So there we go. So we're going to click on that report, and we're going to, since we're in a testing environment here, we're going to hope we have some data to show. So I'm going to do the 1st through the 6th, and I'm going to generate this report. And we're going to say contract details yes, because if you say no, you're going to get the summary, which is just the change in the account. And you could compare that to the GL, but it's not going to show you the contracts that are associated with the change. Earl, you've been working hard. Look at all these entries by Earl.
I was cleaning
That's
up the
awesome.
database. I was taking account payments in this database.
That's awesome. So as you can see on this report, it is going to show the debits and the credits to the account. And if you go to the last page, if you're a multi-store, you're going to see changes in each store. And if you go over here to this little tree, you can actually click on the different stores to see what your changes are. So I clicked on 2, which is going to take me to the end of 1. So here's our change. That's what we're going to see on our GL entries for store 1. And then the changes for store 2 is going to be this 28,000. And so the total is going to be 216, 561, 26. Awesome. So Earl, I have another question for you. So when we're on closed accrual accounting, and we post payments on a reservation or an open contract, where do we expect those entries to go to with closed accrual accounting?
Well, when you take a payment on an open contract or on a reservation, of course, those monies are going to go into your bank account, either through credit cards or through a bank deposit. It's not going to post income, so those monies received go into what's called a suspense account. It's kind of a holding account until those contracts are closed, at which point those funds come out of suspense and are posted into income accounts.
We're going to go into the accounting configurations and the account numbers page. And then when we go in here, you can actually see where we have our suspense fund account down here.
It's a liability account, which means it's not money we get to keep, or it's not funds
Yes,
that we hold. It's just a holding account. It's going to come
yes.
out of that at some point. Now, normally, again, this is something you don't look at every day. It's useful if we have a miscellaneous entry and I'm trying to decipher where it came from. If a payment didn't get applied properly or something goofy happened and my suspense fund change report doesn't match the change in suspense on my general ledger, the difference between current period and previous period, okay, I got a place to start looking. Something didn't post properly. Uh, so these are contracts that either had monies paid on them, and when I paid them off or when they closed, those monies came out of suspense. And we
Mhm.
closed, actually, I went through and closed a bunch of overdue contracts that had monies paid on them the last few days of December. And so my suspense fund went down. I also paid off a lot of accounts, and my AR went down dramatically on December 31st. That's what it shows you. You can see what hit suspense and what left suspense.
So
Oh, yeah.
the other thing that I wanted to bring up here, Earl, is just an example of what the GLs look like and the reporting that can be used to find out where the numbers are coming from. This is for all of our customers who are using point of rental GL entries on batch based, meaning they're not using the integrated accounting with real-time entries. We'll be talking about that on another call. But here we go is an example of a multi-store company, what the entries look like, and what reports can be used to reconcile those specific numbers. And so we talked about the AR change report, and we talked about the suspense fund change report. We're going to have a link in the bottom of this video to where you can see the reports for the specific entries and what you can look at to find out what contracts and where these numbers are coming from. Earl, did you have anything else to add to this call today?
No, AR,
Mm-hmm.
AR and suspense fund, they're pretty straightforward.
Awesome. All right, Earl. Well, thank you for joining me today on AR change and suspense fund change reports.
Okie dokie. We'll see you later.
Thank you for joining us today. If you guys have any questions on the AR change or the suspense fund change reports, or if you see any discrepancies in those, give us a call. We're happy to help. If you see a miscellaneous entry on your GLs, we're also happy to help. The other thing that you can do, just as a reminder, if you guys go into ULearn, there's an Ask AI in there, and you can ask anything regarding the functionality in Point of Rental Elite, and it should give you answers. So try that out. Give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down on whether it's giving you accurate information. We appreciate you guys. Bye.